Hi, welcome to Starting Your Introduction, Project 1. Let's take a look at the parts of an introduction. First off, we have a topic. Define the person and conspiracy theory or theories you will be writing about. This can include whatever your conspiracy topic might be. In this case, the examples that we will be looking at today fall under the Natalie Holloway conspiracy, so we'll be looking at those. Another thing that your introduction contains is a thesis statement. Remember, that's the one or two sentences that fall anywhere within the introduction that tells the reader exactly what your essay is about. So we'll be adding that as well. Does your audience need other information? Maybe they need background information about who or what your conspiracy is. Remember that we have an international audience on a blog spot for this essay, so we might need to give a little bit of background information on your topic. Do people in China or Australia or Japan know about who Natalie Holloway is? They may or may not. So a short statement on that will work as well. Also, we'll have an argumentative component. Remember, the difference between persuasive and argument is a fine line. Persuasive is all one-sided. We're going to be argumentative, where we go one side along with addressing the other point of view. It doesn't have to be more than one sentence or a half a sentence, but we do need to address the other point of view exist. That's what makes it argumentative. Remember that you can go back to your Top Hat chapter to review the introduction information as well and see more examples as needed. Also, you can go to the website hammetenglish131.blogspot.com to review tons of introductions and essays. So there's lots of models for this, and I'm going to show you how to get to those here in just a minute. We also need a hook that will pull the audience in and make them want to read. That's probably the most important part about the introduction, because we need to grab that reader right off the bat and make them want to read your essay. What makes your essay stand out and makes it different from someone else's? You get one shot to hook the reader before they move on. So we want that hook to be really good. Okay. How long is the introduction? Anywhere between 5 sentences to half a page. Some people's may be a little bit longer. Some people may have 2 paragraphs with the introduction. And we'll talk about that in just a little bit as we look at the examples. Okay, so we're going to look at the first example here. Again, using Natalie Holloway. You'll see that our hook, you'll see that our hook is right here. Oh, sorry about that. Let me try that again. The hook is the very first sentence in this one, so hopefully you're going to follow along simply by going to the projects folder right there in Blackboard. You want to go to Project 1. That'll get you right into the Argumentative Guidelines and Examples handout. So first off, we have a hook. This one is a statistic. 90,000 adults went missing in the United States, and Natalie Holloway remains one of those listed as missing. That's supposed to shock the reader, bring them in, make them want to read. The next thing that we have here, let me see if I can color code these for us, is some background information right here that tells us who and what happened. Again, look how short. Okay. One sentence. The bright, pretty 18-year-old high school girl from Mountain Brook, Alabama, disappeared while on her senior class trip to Aruba on May 30th, 2005. The next thing we have is the conspiracy theory setup, which is right here. Now, this person listed them. So we have a 1, 2, 3 setup. You can do that if you like. You need at least 2 conspiracy theories. Try not to go over 4. That's going to make your essay extremely long because you have to address each one in Project 3. And then the last thing that we have is our thesis. And that's going to be right here for us. Okay, let's take a look at Natalie Holloway and the conspiracy theories surrounding her disappearance, with the most plausible solution being murder by Joran van der Sloot. Now there's our argumentative point right here. Okay, you may not know your argumentative point yet that you're going to argue that works best for you, the conspiracy theory that solves it. So if you just need to put that line there with the period showing that we'll come back and fill that in later, you can do that. Okay. So there's the breakdown on that one. We'll talk about citations in a minute. I'm going to move us on to the next one. Now, this next one is a really creative approach. I happen to like it. You may or may not like that. We get this little piece right here. That's our hook. Then we get our background information next. Here's our background info right here. These sentences right here. Okay. You're going to see that almost that exact same information will show up as in intro 1. All of these intros have similar information, just a different setup. This one doesn't have that 1, 2, 3 list, but it does give us right here the different conspiracy theories. Okay, there's the first one. Here's the second one. And here's the third one. So same kind of setup. Our argumentative point and our thesis is right here. So built into the thesis there. Okay. I like that creative approach, a little different. What do you not like about, alcohol, drugs, gambling, and disaster with an exotic island? Definitely high interest and pulls people in. They want to know what happened with that kind of setup. Introduction 3, and it starts with a question. So you could certainly use that question format if you want to. Very simple, easy. This is a very simple generic format right here on this one. Again, you're going to see the exact same info. The hook is right here. Okay. Same info. Get that statistic as well in this one. But that statistic is not our main shocking point there. And again, this one is going to have that 1, 2, 3 setup. Right there at the end, we've got our thesis. Right here at the end, our thesis and our argumentative point. Again, right there. Okay. Works Cited, we'll come back to that. All right, now this last introduction that we're going to look at right here is that 2-paragraph. A little more in depth. Has a different kind of hook to it. I like this hook. Okay. Remember the anticipation of the end of senior year of high school. There is an I can conquer the world attitude that high school seniors adopt that makes them feel as if they are invincible. You're going to see the exact same info in this introduction here. But it does have that 2-paragraph setup. And again, right here at the end, we're going to see the thesis. Right here at the end is our thesis, telling us exactly what we're going to be doing throughout the essay, exploring the answers to the questions and uncovering what really happened to the 18-year-old high school senior while on the exotic island of Aruba. So exactly what we want with those. Choose a model. Models make it very easy to get started. The other thing that you can do here is to come back to these questions right here. And let's say, for example, you just want to do it in a list format and then put it together. So, what's your topic? You know, what conspiracy theory are you working with? And in this case, it's Natalie Holloway. Doesn't want to work very well there, but if you need to use this right here to get you going, simply write out your statement right beside it here with each one. Okay, and again, my topic, Natalie Holloway, the thesis statement, what is the essay about, the conspiracy theories of, and exploring the conspiracy theories of Natalie Holloway, and which one best solves it. What's the background information? Natalie was a 18-year-old high school senior from Mountain Brook, Alabama, who went on her senior class trip to Aruba. The argumentative component. Joran Vandersloot is the most likely person to have murdered her. So you can play around with that a little bit. And what is your hook? What hook do you want to use? Are you using a question? Are you using a quote or a stat? That doesn't want to work right, y'all. Quote or a statistic. Okay. Now remember that there are red flags for me as an instructor if you're pulling numbers, dates, stats, those kinds of things. Probably need a citation. Or if you're looking something up, if it's not on your brainstorm sheet, if you haven't done your brainstorm sheet yet, take out a piece of paper. Put your topic at the top. You're going to see the brainstorm sheet example in Project 1 folder, under the Projects folder. Write down everything you can list. You can do a concept map if you like. You can do it any way you want. It's just for you and me to reference back to in case we have questions. But make yourself a brainstorm sheet. I'm going to be looking for that when we do your introduction. Where's your brainstorm sheet? So be sure you can type it in and print later, or you can write it in. Doesn't make any difference. Use a piece of paper and write it down. But write down every single thing you know. List every single thing you know about your topic. That way, if I come back to you and I say, well, did you know that Marilyn Monroe died on, March 30th, 1963? No, I don't know if that's the right date or not, just an example. But if you know those kinds of things, those are the kinds of things I need to know about. A lot of you have a lot of background knowledge already about your topic, while others have absolutely nothing. So if you don't know anything about your topic, on your brainstorm sheet, put, I know nothing. And then I know what kind of citations we're going to be having there. Okay. Let's talk about the citations for just a minute. Let me scroll down where we can see one here. There's one. Let me see if there's a... we'll try this one. I think that one's complete. Let's try this one. Okay, so remember that with citations, they come with the exact sentence where the info is pulled. So whether it's word for word or you rephrase and put it into your own words. If it's word for word, we have quote marks like here. But if you put it into your own words, there will be no quote marks. But you still need the citation at the end because it's not your thoughts, ideas, or words. So we will have that. This et al. Tells me there's more than 2 authors. So if you have 3 or more authors, it'll be that et al. Meaning more, I think, is what that means. If you have 2 authors, it would simply be, Keppel and Jones. Or if you have 1 author, it's going to be the last name there. Okay. You've only got 2 choices with citations. That's all you have. The first one is the author's last name. Okay. And typically we have a page number that follows that. Okay. So maybe if it was page 3. In this case, when there's no page number, we've advanced enough with technology that we realize it's a scrolling document. and there's only one page. So when I don't see a page number, it tells me you looked at it online. There's just one page that goes on and on and on and on. Okay. Now, let's say that this information here came from the same place. In that case, you would simply have the page number. We don't have a page number, so it's going to be our 1 that sends us back to the full citation. Okay. Now, if you have other citations that break that, you can't use that page number. Or maybe it was page 54. I'm going to clear this for us real quick here. Okay. So let's say, for example, it's page 54. Okay, so it would look like this. Nah. It's a bad example, y'all. There we go. With a period, right? Don't want to work real well. Let me erase that and try it. Doesn't want to cooperate. So, citations are probably our biggest problem. We'll be working on those all semester. Obviously, I didn't do a very good job there. So we'll be working on those all semester. If you're not sure about them, find the easiest way. Some people like to build the citation as they go. And some people will simply number their citations and then go back and build them all at one time. If you're going to turn your intro in with the citation, it will need that proper Works Cited. Remember, it's a Works Cited. It should look like this, so follow your models. Okay, be sure you follow your models. We do have those hanging indentions after the first line, right there. Be sure to ask questions as needed. You're not in this alone, okay? And again, if you're having trouble getting started, it's a little slow there. Come back up to the top and use this list and write your statement out here, and then go back and put your statements into paragraph format. That makes it very, very simple to get through the introduction. Introductions are formulaic. They all include the exact same things. So, although you have different topics, the parts of the introduction will be identical. If you have any questions and need further help, remember that I do have office hours, so check those. You can also do an online virtual or in-person meeting with the Speaking, Reading, and Writing Center tutors. So don't hesitate to do that. But I'm around all week, willing to help you. So don't hesitate to contact me. I am in meetings all day on Monday. But other than that, should be around with no problem. See everyone in class, next class period. And if you have any issues, just let me know.